were at the Met Gala last night.
We made eye contact.
Kind of did a little bit, right?
And then we decided not to say hi. We were standing in that line.
You were in the line?
I was in the line and I saw you in front of me and you looked back and then we made eye contact and I go, no.
No.
She burst onto our screens, captivating millions with genuine vulnerability and undeniable talent.
Where are you from?
New York.
From the sun-drenched chaos of The White Lotus to the intense halls of Euphoria.
I actually think I was auditioning for Oklahoma.
Why the f did you audition for Oklahoma?
I'm not.
Then why the f do you look like you're auditioning for Oklahoma?
Do I?
Yes.
Sydney Sweeney has become one of Hollywood's most talked about stars, but behind the Emmy nominations and the magazine covers lies a story of relentless determination, surprising beginnings, and a journey far more complex than you might imagine. Did you know the actress who embodies teenage complexities and challenging characters so perfectly was once told she wasn't the right fit? That she had to fight incredibly hard, armed with a self-made audition tape just to get noticed?
I have stage fright, and I've always only had auditions where it was just one person in a room, which is the casting director. And this is the first time I ever walked into a room and there was a table, all of these people, and I got so scared and nervous I just forgot all my lines.
Or that the glamour we see today was built on a foundation of financial difficulties and a family that risked everything for her dream. Today, we're diving deep into the life of Sydney Sweeney.
Thank you.
No problem.
We'll uncover the small-town girl from the Pacific Northwest with big dreams, the surprising 5-year business plan she presented to her parents at just 12 years old, the relentless hustle behind her early roles, and the pressures she faces navigating fame, finances, and finding her voice in an industry that wasn't always ready for her. Get ready for the real story, the struggles, the triumphs, and the surprising passions, like restoring vintage cars, that make Sydney Sweeney more than just a star, but a force to be reckoned with. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this. Long before the bright lights of Hollywood beckoned, Sydney Bernice Sweeney was born on September 12, 1997 in Spokane, Washington. She wasn't born into an acting dynasty. Her roots were firmly planted in the Pacific Northwest.
We didn't have the connections, we didn't have the money, any of it to be able to pull something like this off. And my parents literally sacrificed so much.
Her mother, Lisa Mudd Sweeney, was a lawyer, and her father, Stephen Sweeney, worked in the medical field. As the eldest child, Sydney grew up in a world far removed from the entertainment industry, spending much of her formative years near the Washington-Idaho border. Her parents fostered a spirit of exploration, encouraging her to fall in love with as many things as possible. And Sydney took that advice to heart. Her childhood wasn't filled with drama classes, but with the rugged outdoors and a diverse range of activities. She was athletic, hitting the slopes for skiing, playing soccer, and even dabbling in golf. But there was a focused side too. Sydney trained in mixed martial arts, a discipline that perhaps hinted at the focus and determination she would later bring to her craft. Alongside the sports, she also explored the performing arts through ballet. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, Sweeney described her upbringing as idyllic and wholesome, bordering on reserved. She attended a pastoral private school, excelling academically, taking multiple languages, and eventually graduating as valedictorian. Unlike the often troubled characters she would later portray, her teenage years were remarkably straight-laced. "I never went to a party," she revealed, preferring studying and being the designated driver for friends. Her parents were strict, and her drink of choice, even today, water. She's famously never even tried coffee. It was a grounded, disciplined start. But amidst the wholesome normalcy, a spark ignited. An independent horror film, ZMD, Zombies of Mass Destruction, began filming near her hometown in 2009. Auditioning for a part wasn't just a whim, it was the catalyst for a life-changing decision.
Well, I always knew, but my parents never believed me. It was like I wanted to be a princess in some fairy tale land, and they were like, this is not possible. And I grew up in a small town, so it was like this crazy idea that would never come true. And when I was about 12 years old, this small movie came to town, and I found out about it at school. And I asked my parents if I could audition. They're like, no, what are you talking about? So So I created this 5-year business plan presentation of what could happen if they let me audition for this movie. And they were like, okay, maybe she's a little more serious than we thought. And I ended up booking it.
Suddenly, acting wasn't just a distant dream, it was a tangible possibility. And at the remarkably young age of 12, Sydney Sweeney did something extraordinary. She didn't just ask her parents if she could pursue acting, she presented them with a meticulously crafted 5-year business plan, outlining exactly how she intended to make her Hollywood dream a reality. It was a display of foresight and ambition that convinced her initially hesitant parents to take a leap of faith. That 5-year plan wasn't just talk. Convinced by their daughter's sheer determination, the Sweeney family packed their bags and made the challenging move from the quiet Pacific Northwest to the sprawling, competitive landscape of Los Angeles. But the transition wasn't seamless. As Sydney later revealed to The Hollywood Reporter, the move put immense financial strain on her family. "We lived in one room, my mom and I shared a bed, and my dad and little brother shared a couch," she recalled of their initial time in LA, staying in a Holiday Inn. The dream had a cost, and the pressure was immense. Hollywood wasn't exactly rolling out the red carpet. Sweeney faced the tough realities of the industry head-on. "The rejection you get while you're trying to learn to be yourself is intense," she stated candidly. "It's intense how adults look at you." She felt like an outsider, acutely aware of the connections others seemed to possess. "I had no idea getting into this industry how many people have connections," she admitted. "I started from ground zero, and I know how incredibly hard it is. Now I see how someone can just walk in a door, and I'm like, I worked my absolute hardest for 10 years for this." But Sydney kept grinding. Armed with talent and that unwavering work ethic forged in her youth, she started landing guest spots on major television shows. These weren't breakout roles yet, but crucial stepping stones. Viewers caught glimpses of her in popular series like Heroes, Criminal Minds, the teen drama 90210, the medical hit Grey's Anatomy, and the mystery thriller Pretty Little Liars.
Can I talk to you ladies?
We're working.
Okay.
Each appearance was a small victory, a line on the resume, a chance to learn and be seen in an incredibly crowded field. She wasn't just waiting for the phone to ring. Sydney was proactive, constantly auditioning, honing her craft, and navigating the often discouraging audition circuit. She even took college courses in business, perhaps a nod to that initial 5-year plan, understanding that acting was not just an art, but also a business she needed to manage. The early years were a testament to her resilience, juggling auditions, small roles, and education, all while her family navigated the financial and emotional challenges of supporting her dream in a city known for testing spirits. The foundation for her future success was being built, one small role, one rejection, one hard-won lesson at a time. After years of grinding, the tide began to turn for Sydney Sweeney in 2018. This was the year the industry truly started to take notice, thanks to a string of diverse and compelling roles. She landed the part of Emmeline Dario, a high school drama club member, in the quirky 90s set Netflix comedy drama Everything Sucks.
Do you like me? What do you mean? You know what I mean. I like you.
While the show was short-lived, it showcased her versatility. Then came 2 roles that demonstrated her dramatic range in acclaimed series. She appeared as the devout child bride Eden Spencer in the challenging world of Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale. Her portrayal of Eden's tragic arc was haunting and memorable.
Children of God, renounce your sins and plead for His mercy.
Love is patient. Love is kind.
That same year, she shared the screen with Amy Adams in the HBO psychological thriller miniseries Sharp Objects, playing Alice, a young woman facing difficulties sharing a psychiatric facility room with Adams's character.
My mom hates everything I wear anyway, so.
These roles, though supporting, placed her in high-profile projects alongside established stars, proving she could hold her own. But the real game changer was just around the corner. When casting began for HBO's talked-about teen drama Euphoria, Sydney set her sights on the role of Cassie Howard, a character described as sweet and popular, but whose deep-seated insecurities and desperate need for love lead her down a challenging path. However, she hit a roadblock. As she told The Hollywood Reporter, the casting director initially didn't think she was right for Cassie and was hesitant to have her audition. Can you imagine Euphoria without Sydney Sweeney as Cassie? It almost happened, but Sydney, embodying the persistence that defined her journey, wasn't deterred. Her agent secured the script, she put herself on tape, reading lines with her own mother, and sent it directly to the Euphoria team. The result? They booked her. No callback, just a direct offer.
Just reading the pilot alone, I mean, she's not in much of the pilot, so I had to look at the whole picture of the entirety of the show. And I fell in love with the rawness and the situations and the emotions that all these characters go through.
No hard feelings towards the casting director. She later clarified, "I love her now." It was a pivotal moment, proving that sometimes you have to fight for the roles you know are meant for you. Euphoria, premiering in 2019, became a cultural phenomenon. Sweeney's portrayal of Cassie's intense emotional landscape, her vulnerability, her questionable choices, her deeply moving breakdowns, resonated strongly with audiences. It was a complex, often debated role that demanded immense range, and Sydney delivered.
With me, Jacobs, and he's in love with me, and you give me that look, Maddie, because I didn't f your boyfriend. You two were broken up.
Her performance earned widespread acclaim, and in 2022, her first Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series. As she told Empire magazine about the whirlwind success, "I was 20, filming the pilot of Euphoria, and 21 when it came out. So it was a whirlwind at a really young age. You have to roll with the punches."
He was gonna watch it without telling me, with his parents.
So your grandparents and your father pull
Yes.
up with some popcorn.
Yep.
Let's watch Sid and Euphoria.
Yep.
What happened next?
My dad and my grandpa turned it off and walked out, but my grandma's she's a big supporter of mine.
She's a fan.
She is.
While Euphoria cemented her status as a rising star, Sydney wasn't done surprising us. In 2021, she joined the ensemble cast of Mike White's satirical HBO anthology series, The White Lotus. Filmed under unique quarantine conditions at the Four Seasons Resort in Maui during the pandemic, the series explored wealth, privilege, and dysfunction among guests and staff. Sydney played Olivia Mossbacher, the sharp-witted, cynical college sophomore vacationing with her wealthy family.
It sounds like you scored.
Yeah, he's super hot. Congrats.
Her dynamic with her on-screen mother, played by Connie Britton, who she first met in the pool at the resort, and her friend Paula provided some of the series' most pointed commentary. Filming The White Lotus was an experience in itself. Sweeney described the cast bonding like family, having the run of the resort initially. But she also recounted the surprising experience when real, wealthy guests arrived, making her feel acutely out of place in her casual attire. "I would go to breakfast in my sweatshirt and pajama shorts and get the most disapproving glares," she shared with The Hollywood Reporter, a stark reminder of the class divides the show itself was dissecting. Her performance as the entitled yet subtly insecure Olivia earned her a second Emmy nomination in the same year, this time for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a limited or anthology series or movie.
Olivia, your brother is not sleeping in the kitchen.
Why not?
Well, because it's a galley kitchen. It's tiny. And we've got this whole beautiful room.
Mom, he's doing fine in there. Look, he's stimming. He can entertain himself for hours with just his own hand gestures.
Adding another layer to her growing resume, she also appeared in Quentin Tarantino's 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, playing Snake, one of the characters connected to the Manson group. Though a smaller part, being directed by Tarantino was another significant milestone.
It was so much fun. I mean, you know, when you have that bucket list of everyone you hope that you can one day work with, and then you just cross them all off on the same exact day for like a couple months. It's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So it was just this surreal experience.
From guest spots to critical acclaim and double Emmy nominations, Sydney Sweeney had officially arrived. The hustle had paid off, but the journey was far from over. Riding the wave of critical acclaim from Euphoria and The White Lotus, Sydney Sweeney didn't slow down. Instead, she strategically diversified her portfolio, proving her range extends far beyond intense television dramas and tackling new challenges, including stepping behind the camera as a producer.
Take one.
Marker.
Action.
You don't call action.
I call action.
She dove into the world of romantic comedies with 2023's Anyone But You, starring opposite Glenn Powell. The film, loosely based on Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, became a surprise box office hit, showcasing Sweeney's comedic timing and undeniable screen chemistry.
You're not wearing underwear?
It's a swimsuit. I'm on holiday.
It proved she could carry a mainstream film and connect with a broad audience, further solidifying her star power.
Is this like a little romance? It's not?
No.
Well, then you guys really
But we do love each other. And honestly, this is one of the most spectacular humans I've ever met. She's really incredible.
But Sydney quickly pivoted back to more serious territory, demonstrating her commitment to varied genres. In 2024, she starred in the psychological horror film Immaculate. This wasn't just another acting gig. Immaculate was a passion project she had auditioned for nearly a decade earlier. When the project stalled, she took matters into her own hands. Through her own production company, 50/50 Films, which she founded in 2020, Sweeney acquired the rights, helped develop the script, and starred in the lead role of Cecilia, an American nun who discovers unsettling secrets in a remote Italian convent.
Hello?
As she told Who What Where, producing allowed her to be involved in every single step along the way, from casting to editing. Immaculate was a critical and commercial success, proving her instincts as both an actress and a producer were sharp. Her ambition didn't stop there. She entered the superhero realm, joining the cast of Sony's Spider-Man universe film Madame Web. While the film itself faced varied reactions, her involvement in a major studio franchise marked another significant step in her career trajectory.
Standing up for what you believe.
She spoke about the intense preparation involving fight training and movement training, highlighting her dedication to fully embodying her characters, even within the closely guarded world of comic book movies.
What was it like doing those stunts, the harnesses? Was it fun? Was it challenging? I'm sure you could handle it.
I think I was born for this. Yeah.
You were.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Founding 50/50 Films was a deliberate move to gain more creative control and champion stories she believed in. It reflects the same business-minded approach she displayed with that 5-year plan years ago. She aims to partner with emerging writers and directors, creating opportunities for others while shaping her own career path. This entrepreneurial spirit adds another fascinating dimension to her Hollywood journey. Looking ahead, Sydney Sweeney shows no signs of hitting the brakes. With Euphoria's highly anticipated 3rd season on the horizon, ongoing projects with her production company, and undoubtedly more diverse roles to come, she continues to navigate the pressures of fame while actively shaping her future. As she told The Hollywood Reporter, despite the success, the pressure remains. I still can't get my mind to quiet down, and I don't sleep. But it's this relentless drive, combined with her undeniable talent and growing business acumen, that makes her one of the most compelling figures in entertainment today. While Sydney Sweeney commands attention on screen, her life off camera reveals different facets: a grounded personality, surprising hobbies, and a candidness about the financial realities of Hollywood that resonates with many. Despite her rapid ascent, Sweeney remains deeply connected to her roots in the Pacific Northwest. She often retreats there, seeking solace away from the Hollywood frenzy. After experiencing panic attacks from overwork, she told The Hollywood Reporter her remedy was 2 weeks of phone-free time back home, hiking and skiing and doing what I truly love. This connection to nature and family provides an essential anchor. One of her most talked about passions is restoring vintage cars. This isn't just a casual hobby. She actively works on the vehicles herself, documenting the process on her popular TikTok account at Sid's Garage. She famously restored a vintage Ford Bronco, showcasing her mechanical skills and genuine enthusiasm.
The screws were pretty rusted in, so I had to bring my mechanic George in.
This unexpected interest endears her to fans, revealing a hands-on practical side far removed from the glamour of red carpets. It's a tangible connection to a different world, a way to work with her hands and disconnect from the pressures of her profession. Beyond the garage, she maintains a relatively private personal life. While navigating the intense scrutiny that comes with fame, she tries to keep her relationships out of the spotlight. She has spoken about the challenges, telling C Magazine about the social unease of increased recognition. Perhaps most refreshingly, Sweeney has been remarkably open about the financial pressures faced even by successful actors. In that widely discussed Hollywood Reporter interview, she addressed the often unspoken topic about money in the industry. If I wanted to take a 6-month break, I don't have income to cover that, she stated plainly. I don't have someone supporting me. I don't have anyone I can turn to pay my bills or call for help. She explained the costs associated with a Hollywood career, paying publicists, agents, lawyers, and maintaining a certain image, aren't covered by network payments alone. They don't pay actors like they used to, and with streamers, you no longer get residuals, she explained. The established stars still get paid, but I have to give 5% to my lawyer, 10% to my agents, 3% or something to my business manager. I have to pay my publicist every month, and that's more than my mortgage. This honesty about needing to constantly work, taking brand deals like becoming the face of Miu Miu and Armani Beauty, not just for exposure but to fund her life and career, struck a chord. It humanized her, revealing the concerns and financial realities that persist even amidst Emmy nominations and critical acclaim. It highlighted the immense pressure she feels to maintain momentum, not just for creative fulfillment, but for financial stability. A pressure amplified by her awareness of starting from ground zero without industry connections. This blend of down-to-earth hobbies, a desire for privacy, and candid financial honesty paints a picture of a young woman navigating extraordinary circumstances with a remarkable degree of self-awareness and resilience. She's building a career, a brand, and a life, all while staying true to the determined girl from Spokane who presented her parents with a 5-year plan. So, that's the journey so far. From the determined young girl in Spokane crafting business plans, to the aspiring actress sharing a single room in LA, to the double Emmy-nominated star navigating the complexities of fame and finance, Sydney Sweeney's path has been anything but ordinary. She's proven herself to be more than just the characters she portrays. She's a meticulous planner, a resilient fighter who overcame initial rejection, a hands-on mechanic finding joy under the hood of a vintage car, and an increasingly savvy producer shaping her own narrative in Hollywood. Her willingness to speak openly about the pressures and financial realities of her industry offers a rare glimpse behind the curtain, reminding us that success rarely comes without significant struggle and sacrifice. What truly makes Sydney Sweeney compelling isn't just her undeniable talent or her impressive rise. It's the blend of vulnerability and strength, the ambition paired with groundedness, the Hollywood glamour juxtaposed with the grease-stained hands of her garage. She contains multitudes, constantly defying expectations. As she continues to take on challenging roles, build her production company, and navigate the ever-watchful eye of the public, one thing is clear: Sydney Sweeney is not just having a moment, she's building a legacy. And we'll definitely be watching to see what she does next. What do you find most surprising or inspiring about Sydney Sweeney's story? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you learned something new, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of your favorite stars. Thanks for watching!